Roland, the tide is turning to when it comes to how Americans think about government spending. In 1983 and 1994, when we polled, just 1 in 3 Americans wanted the government to spend less on domestic programs. Just 1 in 3. Today, Americans are split evenly on whether to cut government spending or not. Washington has spent $109 billion in the past 3 years on jobless benefits. Roland, are Americans ready to cut off the long-term unemployed because it's costing them too much on their taxes?
Well, first of all, the people who likely have jobs, the people who have not been adversely impacted, of course they're saying that. When you look at the people who talk about the deficit, these are likely not the people who have been struggling. Earlier this week on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, Tom read a letter, Allie, from a woman who for 3 years has been unable to find a job. Her son talked about how she's been sending out resumes, going to the library, pounding the pavement, how she could not afford the $70 for a drug test to become a trucker. And so she paid $600 a month for her rent. If she was late, it cost her an extra $800. Her mom is moving in with her. Now, you tell me, here you have Republicans who are talking about extending all the tax cuts. The tax cuts for the rich will cost $700 billion. $700 billion for them. We spend $100+ billion for unemployment benefits. I say money well spent because, as Christine said, that money goes right back into the economy. So what happens? They become homeless? They go on food stamps? What happens to those 4 million people?
Let's bring Stephen Moore in. He's an editorial writer with the Wall Street Journal. Stephen, Roland makes an interesting point. $109 billion over 3 years for unemployment benefits, which we know, we all agree, goes quite directly into the economy because people on food stamps and unemployment benefits don't have a cushion. They have to spend their money versus the $700 billion or so for extending the tax cut. So first, I want your view on that. And secondly, is there some trade to be had here with Republicans saying you extend the tax cuts, we'll extend unemployment benefits?
Well, Ali, I do believe that we should provide a cushion for people who lose their job. There's no question about that. But I think 2 years of unemployment insurance is just it's unacceptable. I think, you know, this example that you were all talking about, somebody 3 years getting government benefits. Look, people should be able to find a job, any job, after 6 months, 9 months, a year. It's a tough economy out there. But unemployment insurance extensions don't expand the economy at all. They hurt the economy because what people do is they don't start looking for a job until the benefits run out.
Christine and I were talking about this, Stephen, just the other day. Christine?
Well, we were talking about this because in normal times, economists say that's true, that there's a percentage of people who don't go looking for a job. But these aren't normal times. After 3 years, you should go out and get a job. There aren't any jobs. I mean, we don't have enough jobs. So wait. So, Stephen, the issue is not whether we should keep extending unemployment benefits. I agree with you. You can't do that forever. The question is, when are the jobs going to come so that people have a job to go to? And that is the big question and concern.
Stephen,
and here's my problem with the kind of compromise that was laid out. I think it's essential that we extend these tax cuts, quote, for the rich, because those are the employers in the country. If you take money out of the hands of the employers, then they don't have money for hiring people. I mean, we know from the statistics that most of the people who would get hit with the tax increase are people who are employers, who are, you know, let's face it, without employers, you don't have jobs. So maybe, Ali, I like your idea. I'd go for a deal that said, let's extend the tax cuts for everybody, because I don't think the economy can stand a tax increase, but then we would also extend the unemployment insurance.
Allie,
maybe we got the framework for a deal.
But then we're still spending money we don't have, right?
Here's an example. Again, it points to it. In Soledad O'Brien's Black in America 3, Almighty Debt, she profiled a gentleman who had an executive job, and she showed how many months he's been unemployed, how many times he's been sending out resumes, how he's taken off his vice president's title, he's applying for some of the jobs not even close to what he's making, and still unable to find it. And so, Stephen, when you sit here and say, oh, you should be able to find the job, Stephen, you have a job. I have one. But the people out there, we're hearing from them who are busting their butts, they can't find a job, even one far below where they were before.